Welcome to day 4 of online bootcamp, guys. So, we are in Mat 2. So, on day 4, we thought we decided to learn about Vue.js. So, this would be very brief. As I said in previous session, I will be uh, teaching Vue CDN, but I felt it very difficult configuring everything. So, I'm just thinking to use the CDN only, sorry, CLI. You might get a question from in the Viva, what is the difference between CDN and CLI? So CDN is content delivery network. So what it means is when we load a HTML template in this script tag, we will give the source of uh, the JavaScript library that we want to import, and it will load in the browser, and then we will use the package. Whereas in CLI, we will create a specific server for storing all the packages and serving the all the required packages in our own server. Whereas we are importing from other server and using it. So the difference between, this is the main difference: content delivery network and command line interface. Um, More things about CDN and CLI. So whatever I'm doing here, importing script source, this CDN part. So if it is very large scale application, very big application, many people are using it, then it will reduce the. I mean, if it is a very big application, then it will reduce the application's what is it performance. So it will take time to load everything. On every refresh, it will reload. So those things will happen. Whereas in CLI, we are directly rendering the templates from our servers, so that will not cause an issue. Um, so I'm just going with the what is it? CLI, command line interface, creating our own server. So I'm not doing this CLI, guys. Some CDN. Sorry for the confusion. So I'm not doing CDN. I will be using CLI. So in order to do use CLI, first let me delete all the files that I have created.
So this structure would be different, right? We'll be having front end and back end
Yeah,
separate structures.
yeah. So what I thought is I will serve the templates, but no, I will not be serving any templates. So it's only for testing you can serve one. So I'm deleting this index.html where we are fetching data from the backend. So I'm deleting this. So that's it. Inside this bootcamp folder, so bootcamp mad2, I'm creating a front end folder. Before that, I will move all these files to backend folder. I will create backend, and okay, this server will stop. No issues. Maybe I have to manually select Control Shift. Just moved into backend folder. It's loading.
Sir, does this mean that we have to open two terminals and make
Yeah, that
make
we have
make
it
two
always.
application live for the our application to work?
Yeah, yeah. So the same manner how we are running this Flask app, we will do the same for the running the front end JavaScript thing. So it's very easy once you uh, learn about it. So
Okay.
to setup, you don't need to worry about setup. So that's a very good thing. Right now, I moved everything into this backend folder. To move this static folder also. And this CSS should be in static. Any image files if you want to render, they should be in the static folder. PyCache also should be in backend. Okay, now what we have to do is in our main folder, that is bootcamp mat2. For you, it will be your roll number and the project name. Inside that, there will be two files. One is backend and one is front end. Front end that we are going to create. So now what we will do is, in order to run the Flask here, we need to change the directory to backend. Now we are in backend. Yes, Mandata.
So what was PyCache?
Pi
PyCache, it is creating
Pi
automatically.
cache,
What is
it's
this
just some
PyCache?
cache. I'm not sure about this. This is just cache, like storing temporary information in this maybe variables. I don't know. I'm not sure. You can look about that. But we will just ignore this. We don't need. So I just ignored it in the git ignore.
Okay,
So
one
it
more
won't be
thing.
pushed to the GitHub.
One more.
Sorry.
When we are moving it all the files to backend,
Mm-hmm.
the routes what we have declared that we need to change something or not. App.py is
No
given
need
there. We just
because we
specify
are
the routes.
changing the directory again, right? We are entering to the backend, then we are running. So okay, I'm going to do that. I just moved them into backend folder. Now we'll do Python app.py. So it's working fine. If I open this route, it's giving my view app. Okay, so it's giving the previous template that I was sending. So we are not doing that. So let me just delete this file. So we are not rendering any template from the backend. So that's the thing. We are only sending the APIs. I mean, returning the API data, data by API response. Yes, Mamta.
Good. I just down my trying to down my hand.
Okay. Um, yes, Chandra.
Sir, how we can use git ignore?
Git ignore. You just need to create .git ignore file, and whatever you mention here, it will be ignored. And that you have to
Okay,
do
sir.
before committing. If you once commit, after that you add these things. You have to. You can either you can open the GitHub repository page, then delete from there, or else via terminal you can delete. So before committing, if you add, it won't be added into the GitHub.
Okay, sir.
So ignore package because we don't need. So later we're going to ignore the virtual environment that we are going to create once the project is done. So right now no issues. Um, yes. Uh, okay. So in app.py, I'm just removing the part where we are returning index.html because you don't need to. If you want to test, then you can do testing. For that purpose, you can do that. Uh, okay, in controllers.py, let's see. Uh, wait. So let's do one API call test if it is sending data or not. Okay, token has expired, so working fine. Um, it's off, and if it is put, it will try to. Okay, let's try to post. So you should be already there. Created. Okay, user not there with this email ID. Fine. And we need to log in. So this is the token. Control C, copied inside this auth bearer. We need to paste that. No ending quotes. That was the previously issue. Previous error that killed so much time. So now what we will do is API slash users. We will try to do a get method request. Access denied, forbidden. Okay, so this user is not admin, right? So that's why. Um, what we can do is we can log in with admin account. What is admin account credentials? Because server is already there. I mean, database is already there. It is not creating admin. So admin. Admin at gmail.com. Password is also admin. So fine. So put request to API slash auth. Okay, login successful. Okay, no quotes. Now what we'll do is we will try to call users with get method. Yeah, we can see all the users. So right now there are two users working fine. Hmm. So that's it. Now we will what we will do is we will create the view project, that's front end folder. So let it be, let the server run the backend. In the new terminal, what I will do is so Flask is running here, guys. I will just rename this. So it's better to in Viva also better to do this Flask. You can just name these things. So Flask, and here I will be naming this as view, and then later we need to do Redis, salary worker, salary beat. So those things, just name things to be clear and not confused. So yeah, and what we should do. So before that, we need to install the Node.js. Node.js. Go to Node.js and install the latest one. Have already installed. Download Node.js long-term support. LDS means long-term support. So save. I've already installed. Maybe it needs update. So let's update. Okay, then mine is already update latest one, so I'm not doing that. So if you haven't done that, so just go to nodejs.org and download the long-term support one, LTS one. And after doing that, how to create a view app, that we are going to do now. Haven't here. Yeah. So inside this bootcamp mat2 folder, I created backend folder and moved all the files into this backend folder. Now gonna create front end folder, but using the view automatically creator. So that we let's go to view official page. Vue.js, the progressive app introduction. Let's go to quick start. So how to do this? So what is Vue.js? Vue.js is a JavaScript library for front end. Uh, so why Vue.js? If you are using this, so with Mad1 Ginger template, what we are doing is we are rendering every HTML for every response. But it is not good, where we are directly fetching data from backend and we are rendering the template. In order to separate things like separating backend and front end, if it is separate, backend is separate from the front end, then we can have multiple front ends like mobile application front end, web app front end, iOS front end, or any other front end. So we can just fetch data and show it in the front end. So that's why we are using this Flask RESTful APIs to return JSON data so that we can integrate the application to anywhere, to any application, without worrying about the thing. We can also integrate with Java front end. So there is some Java front end libraries, Spring Boot something, I'm not sure. So we can just fetch data from the API and show it to the front end. So because of that, we are going to separate the backend and front end. In front end, we are using this Vue, which is JavaScript framework, very easy, uh, very easy, and it is a single page application. We don't need to render everything. We just need to render an HTML page, and then inside that, the Vue will take care of everything, like loading every component on every page. So that's it, guys. And after installing Node.js, what you have to do is in the command line, I mean the terminal, you need to give these comments whatever they are suggesting in the quick start. So creating a view application. In order to create view application, what we have to do is npm create view at latest. So with the latest view configuration, it will create a view application. So I'm doing npm create view latest. Inside, so right now I'm in MADcamp, bootcamp mat2, guys. So just make sure in backend Flask is running. I'm in root folder. I'm creating a view latest application. So later it will ask what is the project name. I will give as a front end as the project name. So just make sure the cd command change directory. So Yeah, whenever you open a terminal, it will open in the root folder, that is bootcamp mat2. It will be for you. It will be your roll number and product name. So you need to install the following package. Create view at 3.16.4. So this is the version of the view. Yes, I want to. So npx create view. What is the project name? Target directory. So we will give front end. FRONTEND front end. So it is asking us if you want these things. We can take it to navigate up and down arrows. A space to select it. A to toggle all. Enter to confirm. So TypeScript, I don't think we'll be using. Router, yes, we're going to use. So I'm pressing space to mark it. Pina, yes, we need Pina to do the to show the current user information and state management. By test unit testing, no, we are not going to do any unit testing. End-to-end testing, no. Yes, linter error prevention. Yes, it's better to have. If there is any error, it will show easily. Prettier code formatting, yes, we need. And I think that's it. We don't need TypeScript JS support. So enter. Install OXLint for fast linting. Experimental. Okay, if it is experimental, then no. So then guys, we created a front end folder. So the Node.js module, it created a front end folder. It also gives some sessions: cd front end, npm install, npm run format, npm run dev. So these are the sessions it is giving to run the application. So in the front end folder, we'll use open the readme.file. So here we can see. So front end template should help get you started developing with Vue 3 in White. Recommended IED setup VS Code plus Volar and disable Vue 2 customer configuration. We don't need all these things. We just need to do npm install. So we just need to enter the front end folder and then we need to do npm install. So it is a readme file. It is the create view at latest whatever API is create giving us to this application. We don't need this. We only need to do these things. Compile and hot reload for development. Compile and minify the production. So we don't need to do this. We can just do this npm install and npm run dev. So that's it. So yeah, initialization. Initial commit. Okay. Or else you can just copy these setups. We don't need all these things, guys. So uh, just opening VS Code. So I'm just copy pasting these things. So how to run this application? Just these instructions are enough. CD front end. I opened the change the directory to front end. From here to enter it into this folder in the terminal. And now npm install. So this will install all the modules required for this front end to run. So I'm just following whatever the documentation they have provided. So nothing else. Then npm install to install all the modules, and then I have to do npm run dev. So it created JSON config.json. So all the modules that have been installed, it will be installed here. So all the packages have been installed. So before running any application, we should do this npm install to install all the modules. And then it's better to run npm run format. It will format all the JavaScript files, but we don't need to. Npm run dev is fine. We can remove this npm run format. If you want to format, then you can use that. So npm run dev, and there we go. We got the localhost 5173 for the front end to open that. So let's go 5173. So previously I did something, so it is just showing the localhost 5173. Okay. Localhost. Yeah, I will show 5173. Provide is Google search. Yeah. Now you can see localhost on localhost 5173. Our View app is working. If you click on home, uh, okay, right now it is in home. If I go to about, it will be slash about. If I go to home, it is home only. So home route. So that's it, guys. So what we need to do now is uh, create a login page. So that's it. So I'll make it minimum. So our application is running. So how it is configured, let's understand that. Inside this front end folder, we have .vs code. Some yes, Chandra.
Sir, without APIs, how it is going to home and about?
Without APIs. So this just front end. We haven't integrated any backend yet. So it is not. So this is all pure JavaScript. So no Python, anything. So all these routes, it gave a basic setup that I'm going to describe now. I mean, elaborate now.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's open index.html. So this is the index.html. Whenever we open this front end, this index.html will be loaded, and in this we will have this queue with ID app, and inside that all the application will be loaded. So if we change something here, instead of view white app, so this is white app right now, right? So if I open this, here we can see white app. So here it will be shown. So what we can do is we can rename this to our application. Mine is, so what I'm thinking to do is it's a quotes app. So if I open here, we can see quotes. So whatever HTML title we will give it here, it will show you here. And you can give fav icon if you want to. So right now it is views fav icon. So it's in this public folder. So just need to understand how this is configured. And here in this div, we are loading this main.js that is here inside src main.js. So inside this src folder, this main.js, it is getting loaded whenever we are loading this index.html. This main.js is loading. Okay, I'll just expand this. Okay, so is it readable now, guys? Is this text readable?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, so I'm removing everything else. So main.js. Whenever we load this page, it will load. Yes, Mandata.
Could you guide us to install once again so that we can go with you? Actually, I'm getting an error of
Sorry.
npm when I'm running the command npm create view at letters, it is giving me error.
Mm-hmm. Which whatever?
The npm is not recognized. Like the npm is not recognized.
I had to do node install. Have you installed node modules from the node.org? Have you?
No, no.
No. So guys, I suggest you don't uh, do something parallelly with me. Okay, so just watch the session, do understand everything, then do it on your own. Okay, so if you change tabs, then you can see right what I'm doing. So you might have missed. I'm installing the Node.js modules. I mean Node.js application from the Node.js.org. So this will happen. So just stop everything. Just observe what I'm doing. Then after watch the recording if you have any doubt. Okay, so that's it. Um, so inside this index.html, we are loading this main.js, and here we are importing everything from view. We are importing create app. So these are packages. So Pyna that we have installed in the initial part. So it is installing import create Pyna. So view is the application. I mean the module that we want to do the single page application. Pyna is to store the current. State information like application state information, which user is logged in, all those information we will store in this Pyna, and we are using router to navigate between pages. So that's it. So whenever we load this application, this all will be loaded. So we don't need to worry about all these things. So we only need to worry about this src page. In this only we will be handling most of the things. So assets, just logo.svg images, if you want you can store it here. And in components we will have these components. So I will just describe it later, the difference between views and components. So view is the main page. So about view, home view, so these are the what to say, main views. uh, so if we create, so let's create one view, that is login.html. So auth.html, auth.view, sorry. And inside we'll just copy paste one of these, control A, control C. So whenever we open this index.html, the main.js will load this app.view. So if you open this main.js, here it is loading the uh, app. So it is importing app.view as app, and it is loading into this hash id app div. So it is loading this app.view inside this div. And in this app.view, we are using the router and everything to load the components according to the current route we are in. So it will replace this. So yeah.
Like, if you don't mind, can we go through this flow once again? I'm sorry.
Sure. Yeah, if you do not get it, then I will explain.
Yes, please.
Okay. So index.html. So this is the main page. Whenever we open this link that Vue is giving, it will load this index.html first, and after that, it will import this main.js as a module. So we don't need to worry about that. We just need to understand how it is working. So in main.js, what's happening is, so once the page is loaded, it will import the main.js. So main.js is here. In main.js, we are importing assets and main CSS and everything. And after that, we are importing create app from Vue, create Pina from Pina module that we have installed in the beginning. So it is just importing required modules. And after that, we are importing app. So app is the Vue component that we have that is in the root folder, that is src. Inside src there is app.view. So this is the main template that we're going to load into the page. So this is like an interface. So we are loading app.view. So we are importing app.view as app, and then importing router from dot router. Inside this router we are importing router. So right now no need to worry about router. We are just importing app, the app.view as app, and we are creating a new application, that is app variable, and using create app from the view, and passing this app app, whatever this template script.
Your file will be used to create an app now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basic app. So this is the template for the basic application. So it is loading into the create app. And once it is done, so inside this, so after creating a constant app variable, inside that we are creating an app and passing the this template, app template. With the template, the app is created, and to that app we are using a create Pina. So the state manager is getting used, and to that app we are also using a router. And after using both of them, we are mounting that app to the hash app, a div with id hash. So any div with the id hash app, it will be loaded into that div. So inside this index.html, inside this div, whatever we define here in this app.view will be loaded into that. So script setup, template, and everything. So if we go to browser, so whatever loaded right now, it is loaded into the div element. So yeah, so here if you can see, this is the HTML template, that index.html, and inside this div with id app, the all the application will be loaded. So if you can see, it is the header, it is the image, this is the wrapper. So all these, whatever we define the application, it will be loaded into the app. So that's why this is called single application. If we change something, it will not reload the whole page. It will just update the div. So you can see when I'm clicking changing things, it is just updating this div with ID app. So if I go to about, it is not reloading the whole application.
So
It's
this
just
is like
updating
maintaining a skeleton and changing only the parts that need to be changed.
Yeah. So that's the thing. If it is changing whole things unnecessarily, then it will put a burden on the server, right? So that's why we are just updating things, only things that we required. So got it?
Yes,
Yeah,
clear so far. Yeah.
yeah. Okay then. So that's it. Mm, so now we need to change this application, whatever basic application they have given right now. We need to change it to according to our usage. So on this page, we will show a login page. Uh, so not on this page. If we go to slash in page, we should show a login page. So right now it is not showing anything because there is no slash in page. So that's why. Now what we should do is inside this view, we created auth.view, right? Okay. So I forgot. So in app, whenever the app.view is loaded, I forgot to tell from here. It is importing router link and router view from view router. So router means whatever link you open, which template to show something regarding to that view router. So till now I haven't changed anything, guys. So you don't need to worry. So I will tell how to edit. This header, whatever we define here, it will be same for every page. Uh, we go here. So this header, so it will be same for every page, and whatever inside this router, this will be changing. So you can, if you open some page, header will be constant for every page, right? So there you can use this thing, header, and then this view router. So this is where whenever you open a link, according to that link, this router view will be updated. Whatever template you want to show, you can show it here. So now what I'm thinking to do is I want to create a auth.view page which will be shown inside this app.view template. So inside this views folder auth.view, I want to create a template and show it here in this app.view in the browser. So let's see how to do it. So
So
before
whenever
that,
we go to this auth page, this app.view will be there, but this auth.view's
it will be
elements will
shown here.
change.
Yeah,
Ah,
it will be
okay.
shown
Ah,
inside this.
ah, okay. Right. Got it. Ah.
Uh, yeah, so what's happening right now is when I'm clicking this slash page, it is showing home and it is giving router link to home. So this slash page, and it is showing this home. So that is the home.view. Inside this views, we can see about home, home.view. So when I'm clicking slash about, it is showing this home about view. When I'm clicking this slash, it is showing this home view. So why it is showing? It is showing because of this router. So I will also open this router. So it is somehow confusing, but just pay some attention, guys. You will get it. So in this router, if we
But
give
this
some path,
doesn't have this auth so far, correct? This auth is what we are trying to add now. This to this router.
yeah, yeah, So this auth.view we are trying to add. If for slash in page, we are trying to add this auth page. Okay. So let's understand router first. Inside this router, index.js, it is importing create route, create web history, and here we have constant router equal to, we are creating a router app, I mean router variable, and we are doing this create router, and it is creating a router. So we are passing all the routes here. So for slash, we are defining it is a home route, and we are passing the component home view. Whenever you open this slash, it will show this component inside this app.view. Got it, guys? For slash about, it is name is about, and we are passing the component about view. So route level code splitting, this generates a separate chunk for this route, which is lazy loaded when route is visited. Acha, okay. So this is something called lazy loading. Instead of whenever we go to a page, it will load everything. So if you only want the page to load once it is open, then we should use this. So lazy loading. So it is there. Let it be. So we don't uh, touch anything. We just create a new route path.
This is for auth.
Yeah. So I'm giving slash in. So for entering into the application, you can give slash auth also. It's fine. So I'm giving auth component. Uh, you can do the same thing. Lazy loading. Whenever we open the application, then only it should load. So now I will do Control S. So you can see there is some error.
Because there is no auth view, no, that is auth.view. instead of auth
Okay then,
view.
yeah. Okay, oh yeah. Auth view, auth view. So still it is giving some error because there is no template and script is there inside this auth view. So that we will add now. Uh, okay, so let's copy paste the about view. Control A, Control C, Control V, Control S. So let's check. It should show the same about view page. If we go to the front end, so the server is running again. Up view, index.js /in auth view. So inside views auth view.js. Yeah, it's everything is perfect. So I don't know why it's showing still the same. So let's check. Let's go to this page and load again. This is an about page. Okay, it is working fine. So if we go to about page, still it is showing same. So it means we are successfully able to create /in page, which is also showing the same. This is an about page. Now instead of the this is about page, we have to show what we have to show.
You have to
This
change
is
the
an auth
content
page.
of this view. Fine.
Sorry.
Like so it is also showing about now, so we just have to change the elements of this view file, correct?
Yeah, it is. So it's auth page. So whatever changes you do, it will reload again. You can just go to the page. So now you can see this is an auth page. It updated automatically. So whenever there is change, it will automatically update. Okay. So that's it, guys. So we're just able to we are not just able to create this auth view.js, and so else we have to. So now let's create a login page. So let it be about view and home view. Let it be. And there is one thing we can do. So in this index.js, we can create something called router.before each. So before each to from next, we can do something. Constant is authenticated equal to local storage dot get item token. If it is not equal to none, okay, we are just checking if it is authenticated or not. If to dot name is auth and is authenticated, we are redirecting to the home page. Else if it is not authentication and not authenticated, we will redirect to the authentication page. Else we will allow this user to this home page. So yeah, this is fine. Control S. Okay, this is some error. So it is very easy like that. We can see the error what it is giving. Failed to parse source from import analysis because the content invalid JS syntax. Make sure with the following .jsx. Okay. Okay, we need to do the closing bit. So that's why don't use autofill. Okay. So if I'm going here, so just to check if it is working or not, I will do console.log. Alert is authenticated. So you can see is authenticated is true. Why? Because in the application, in the local storage, we have this token. So that's why user. Okay, this is from previous things. So I'm just clearing everything. So what it is trying to do is in the local storage, if there is any token, in the local storage, if there is any item with token name, then it will think the current user is logged in, or else it will show logged out. So now I remove this token from the local storage. It should show the is authenticated to false, and it will redirect to the auth page. So if I try to go to /page, it will redirect to the /in page because the current user is not logged in. So if I even try to go to slash about page, it will not show the about page. It will redirect to the slash in page. So that's a thing.
Can you explain why is it so? Once again, please.
Why is it so? Because we are using this router variable, and to this router variable, we are putting before each. So these are just built-in functions. You can also search in the official page. So these are just additional features because in the product statement they have mentioned if we have to do role-based access control and login thing, and it is very strict. So that's why we are not allowing users to go to other pages without logging in. So we are using this function that is before each to check if the user is redirecting to any other page. We are checking if the page they are going to is name is authentication is already authenticated, then we are redirecting the user to the home page. Else we are redirecting the user to the authentication page. If it is not the authentication page and user is not authenticated, then we will redirect to the authentication page. If user is authenticated and it is other route, then we will proceed without any issue. So this is something function that we have to use. So that's it. So just understand, nothing more to do here. Yes. Okay.
And this authentication
Your
will come from
router.
your yes.
Yeah, in local storage we will store the token. So if you remember, in the backend, in the Flask cab, we are returning a token, right? That we are going to store here, and based on that, we will check if the current user is logged in or not.
Okay, fine, fine.
So you can just go to Google and search role-based access control in Vue.js, and they will also show this, tell the same. Yeah, we can also put auth required false. So
Like, what is this meta element?
yeah, these are just additional things. I assume this is just the information about this route, and if it requires authentication, we can also keep a new variable inside this. Only admin. If it is true, if the user with the role admin only allowed, something like that, we can keep in the meta information. So meta is additional information about this route, whether the authentication is required or not. So unauthorized authentication required for, so anyone can go to this unauthorized place, something like that.
Okay, so I'm checking basically.
So here we can see this person is also telling the same. This documentation also referring the same. So router dot before each, we can check if the whether current user is logged in or not. What is the role? According to that, we can redirect the current user to their specific page. So we are not going to dive that much. It will take a lot of time. So for now, this is enough. If the user is not logged in, redirect to the home page. I mean authentication page if not logged in. If logged in, then home page. And another thing, in this app.view, this UI is not good. So we'll just remove that. So right now we don't need to keep this thing because we are going to modify the application to our own usage. So first in app.view, remove the CSS. So I'm removing all the CSS inside this style. So Control S. If you go, so yeah, it is a header. And we also need to remove all the CSS. Slash home, inside home view. Okay, there is no CSS. About view. Okay, still there is some CSS. Maybe it is because of the CSS that we are importing from here. Assets main.css. I'm just removing that. Yeah, now it is perfect. So I am not very good at CSS, guys. So I'm just okay. Let's experiment then. The CSS is in assets and then main.css. Maximum bit this. Anchor elements, it will be green. Media minimum width, body display flex, display item center. So let's not keep this place item center, then it will be good thing. Okay, so there is something called this view. We can use this to debug. So what are the routes are there? Route link. What are the elements in this current app? We can use this to check what are the pages are there. So right now we have in page, about page, and slash page. So we can debug the application using this. Okay, let's remove all the CSS. When index.h main.js, I'm just removing the CSS because it will take a lot of time. So yeah, and let's also change the header in the app.view. In app.view, I'm removing this logo, or else let's keep it 50 by 50. And you can change the logo to anything you want. If you want to make it some other logo, use some other logo. So yes, and class wrapper, we did it now. Yes, we can do side by side. So if you want, you can learn CSS, or else you can just directly do the application. What you can do is style, display, flex, align items, center, justify content, space between, adding 20 pixel. So it will just align the items in a line, and then it will center them. And instead of you did it, you can name your application here. So it is importing the hello world component and it is putting here, and inside this hello world component, it is showing this message. So yeah, the guys, another thing is in the application we can load components from. So components is like basic things. You can create a page with parking spot, and you can parking lot, and inside that you can show multiple parking spots, right? So you can, what you can do is you can just make a component and you can load it here, and for every parking spot in spots you can just load a component again and again. So what we can do is uh, so div, not div, v4, can we use this? uh, so we can do something like this, looping over, and it will repeat 10 times. So this is the use of view. There is something called v for vwin. There are so many things, it will take time. So what I'm doing is I'm just keeping a variable n, and in 10, so n will update from 0 to 9, and it will create hello world elements 10 times in this application. So you can loop over, instead of 10 you can loop over a new object, and you can create that object multiple times. So that is something you can do. So I'm not going to teach any components here. I will directly show how to load a page, how to load the data, and that's something you have to check. Uh, yes. And here in the nav bar, you can show the elements links. So in the header, we will just keep the image and the links. Now style equal to space between padding 10 pixels. Display flex align items. Okay, gap 20 pixels. So yeah, it is giving gap now. So here you can list all the routes the current application has, and we can also check if the current user is logged in or not from the view storage. Pina state manager. So right now we are not going through that yet. So this is just a header for the application. This is an auth page. We are able to see the auth page, right? I think this is enough. Now let's go to the auth page. I'm doing about page. So if you go to home page, it will redirect to the slashing page anyway. Now what we will do is in the auth page, we will create our authentication page now. So in this auth page, we will give a form to send data to the backend. So this is interesting part. This is very important thing, guys. So just see this form action slash API slash auth. Uh, Slope style script. So here we have to give a form. I'm not giving any form right now. So we'll just give the backend Flask URL, which is running on the port. So this port Control C, and I'll paste it here. And method equal to post. And what arguments are required for this? Okay, let's take this as it is. We'll show something called login and logout both pages. Div and set this h2 login. So you can see enter your credentials to login, username and password. So there is no username, I guess. Let's open backend and then models.py or else controllers.py. In controllers.py, we need to check what are the required things to log in. So whatever we were doing before with the Thunder client, we need to do the same with the uh, whatever this front end. We need to send a request to the backend. So to the login, we need to do what we need to do is we need to send email and password. So that's it. So it's not username, it's email. For email, type email, and ID also email, name also email, and it is required. Now email and password, so that's fine. Now let's send a request. So once I enter this, now we can see in the post we are getting that whatever request we are doing, it is sending that. So this action is performed by HTML by default. So whenever we click on add submit, it will send a request to the backend. So we can see it's a post request with 404 not found because we haven't defined any route for the slash route, right? So we need to do what we need to do is slash API slash auth, and the method is put. So in order to log in, we need to do the put method, right? So put. Let's go back. So we need to save this. Let's pass the same emails. Same emails. 1 2 3 4. Submit. Now you can see user does not exist. So we can catch the same error, that is 404 not found. To do that, why it is not showing form? Yeah, now it is showing. So right now the HTML is handling this. Now what we have to do is we need to use the uh, the view to handle this part. So how to do this? Uh, in order to do that, first what we need to do is we need to create a function inside the script. So inside script, what we will do is we can also have some data. Yes, Chandra.
Sir, when we designed APIs, right, we were testing through
Thunder client.
Thunder client, right?
Init.
Now when we have that entire wireframe diagram, right? So it has lots of things which we may not be able to check using API when we are creating them, right? So how do you actually suggest? So because in the previous project we were not testing using a Thunder client or something like that. I did not do that. I basically tried to create front end and like HTML files and see what the error is coming, and I used to resolve that. But now, if we have, if do you suggest like creating all the APIs properly and testing them first for the entire application, or do you think that creating front end and back end can go a little bit hand in hand? There may be some unseen things because of which we cannot first create the backend itself and then go to front end. I hope.
If you are sure about the APIs you are defining, like everything is correct, you are receiving the data without any issue, then you can go with directly integrating with the front end. You just need to make API call, send correct data. You need to get the data and make it. So I mean, first, if you're confident, then you can go with that, or else you first it's better to use a Thunder client to check if everything is correct. Then go ahead.
Right, so I'm talking of Thunder client only. So, for example, my step one would be see the wireframe. Step two would be design APIs. Let's say step three is testing using Thunder client, right? So till step three, I have not even started looking into front end at all, right?
Okay.
But do you think that creating APIs and designing front end like what we are doing right now has to go hand in hand? What makes more sense?
First, creating
Doing
APIs will
them
be better
isolatedly,
because.
or doing them together? That's what I'm trying.
Okay, so that's a good question. It's better to create first all the. So as I suggested before in the class itself, I told first create all the APIs for every action. Then after that, you need to render all the templates. You just need to make sure every page is getting loaded in the view. Then you need to integrate that with the backend. So once you do something, you will get understanding like how to do things. Then it's up to you how you want to do. You can do one by one, but it will consume a lot of time. So first be concrete about what are the requirements that you want to complete, then do them. So what I suggest is first design everything correctly. So if you are strict with this plan, so that's it. You just need to take ID, email ID, and password from front end, and in backend you will create API according to that. So write that same in the same way in the admin dashboard also. Whenever you load this dashboard, you will fetch all the parking lots information and you will display it here. Whenever admin clicks on add slot, it will show this page. Inside this, you will fill all the information. Whenever you click on add, it will make a API call to backend. It will add the parking lot into that parking lots information using the API, and you will reload this dashboard page. It will load the. I mean, it will add the parking lot that you have created. So something like that.
Sir, for example, let's say this auth page is there, right, at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually start writing about APIs, there are in the entire wireframe,
Mm-hmm.
uh, maybe the auth piece is only 10% of the work. Rest of 90% is about other APIs, right?
Yes.
So now for those APIs, should I also create a front end like this, what I see here, and test it at that time itself? Or should I first complete 100% of the APIs using Thunder client and then start with auth and rest of the pages? That's
My
the
suggestion is after this class, first try to create a backend APIs and make a view application. And whatever I'm doing right now, do it. So after that, you will get a sense like how things are working. Then it's up to you how you want to do whatever you feel comfortable. So you designed a backend tested with Thunder client. Then you are doing this auth page and directly sending data to backend and checking things, right? So
Mhm.
it's up to you. So API is once API is standard, like it is receiving data and responding with the correct response, then you can directly go to front end and work on it. So first create auth page, then you will get to
Okay.
know like
Okay, sir.
what to do.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. So in this script, what we are 1 minute, guys. One minute, guys. Something happened to my computer. Okay, yeah, it's fine now. So mm, so in this script, what I'm trying to do is so here we are directly doing trying to do a put request to the backend, but it is not there. So it will directly send a get request to the backend. So in order to avoid this, we need to make a asynchronous JavaScript call. So what it means is we need to fetch, uh, we need to send this data, whatever we are getting here, to the backend. So there is no put method in HTML, I guess. Can we do put method? Can we do put method in HTML? Used to create a new resource or replace source. I don't know. Here in this template, I have given method equal to put, but it is not making a put request. It is sending a get request to the backend. Let's fill the data again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I click on submit. It should make a put request, but it is making a get request. So I hope it is not there. So let's just use a JavaScript thing. Uh, JavaScript code to make a API call. So we can use this one. So 1 minute, guys. I'm taking another code as a reference. Okay. Export default. So what we are doing here is there are two things. One is in view, the way you write code is you can write in a two different formats, two different ways. One is composition API and options API. So what is the difference between options and composition? So in Viva, the proctor might ask the difference between these two things. So one is intro to options API and composition API. So the format here is options API. So you will have option for everything. So this is the syntax: export default, and here the data will be there and computed. So whenever the page is loaded, it will compute things required for the application, and then you will have methods. Whenever user clicks on thing, you can just make this method. On mounted, you can do some things. Whereas options API, or composition API, you will have things like this. So import, you will import some things. If you have some variables, you will use this reference to ref to do those things, or to store information. And if it is a function, you will directly make this as the verify user. Once it is called, it will check the age value, and it will return true or false according to that. And constant display profile computed. So in my suggestion, this options API is very good. uh, so structure, because this is very defined. Like if you want to see the data, you can see all the data here, whereas it is very confusing. You just need, you have to so this is just like a line by line thing, whereas here it is a group thing. In methods, you will have all the methods. In mounted, you will have all the information about the mounted things. In computed, you have all the all the functions defined to the computed. So this is very better in my suggestion. So I will show you example. So here is another part. In this auth page, so this is all the HTML template. One is login form, one is the register page. So here we are, here it is getting used. I mean, the composition API is getting used. So it is importing ref from view, and it is making multiple. So here it is written that router use route is login name, email, password, everything is constant, and it is getting referred, and empty value is assigned. And after that, there are some functions is defined, and the function will be called inside this once the button is clicked. So yeah, at submit dot prevent submit login, and this function will be called, and it will fetch the API, and then it will what is it? It will call the API with all the information that the user got, and then it will set the, in the local storage, it will set token information and the user information in the backend. So this is very somehow not difficult, but not very readable. So we'll just stick to the composition API, that is data. In data, we will return the data of. So right now in this component, we are having the email and password input, right? So that's why email, and keeping it as empty for now, and password, keeping it as empty. And what we can do is we can bind the data to the HTML input form. So before that, let's keep some dummy data. So gmail.com, and password hello. So it will be like this, and what we will do is we will bind the data to this. So I'll just show it in the live mode. So if I save, so nothing changed. We will bind the data to here. So we'll keep value. So in the HTML, if we keep some value here, it will be entered here, right? So in the email, if I give hello, control S, now we can see the hello is here. But right now I'm removed it. Now I'll bind the value to email. Now we can see nandi@gmail.com is there. So why it is there? So there is something called data binding. We can use this colon to automatically fill the values. So for testing, I'm just putting these values. And for password also, I will do the same. So value equal to empty. So instead of empty, I will just put something just to check. So yeah, it is working. And I will put colon before this value to bind the data, and I will put password. And from data, it will get the password. So you can see it is already filled. And once I click on this submit button, it should not send a call to the backend. So I should prevent it. So if I click on submit, it is sending user already exists. So okay, it is making a get request to backend, but it should not. So what we will do is we will remove this method equal to put, and we will what we will do is prevent default. There is something called on submit. Yeah, we can. So whenever you click on submit, it will make it request to backend, but we should avoid that. Why? Because we are using the view to handle that part, right? So okay, just make sure to. So I am telling again. In Viva, they will surely ask about. Mostly they will ask about combination or options API. So just remember this. I won't repeat again. What is the difference between combination and options API? Which one you used? They will ask you. So just go through that. HTML prevent default form. So there is something called prevent default method in HTML. So what it means is whenever we click on the button submit, uh, it will it will submit the form. So we need to avoid that. We need to avoid that. How we should do that? Hmm, okay. So for the form, I'm giving ID as login form. ID equal to Shyam.
Like, why are we doing this again? This prevent default. What is
Yeah,
the point where
because it
you?
is sending a get request to the backend, right? But we don't want that to happen. So whenever I'm clicking submit, it should not send the request to backend. So it is redirecting to a new page. And we need to the view to handle that, right? The JavaScript to handle that. So that's why.
Okay, okay.
So I kept ID equal to login
Sir,
form.
sir,
Yeah.
I would just want to understand that again. Like this last logic you put, right? We want Vue to handle that, all of that. Yeah.
Handle what?
So can you just repeat what you just said?
Just kept ID equal to login form, and whenever I'm clicking on the submit, I don't want the HTML to submit it. I want the JavaScript to submit it. So I'm working to make
Okay,
according.
okay, 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 got it.
So there is something called mounted function. So what mounted will do is whenever the app is loaded, it will load necessary things for this application. So let's keep it at the end so that so whenever we load this application, whatever in this mounted will be loaded. So we can see console.log, or else let's make it alert. Auth3 is mounted. So if we refresh, so whenever the page is loaded, first this whatever we write in this function will be called. So here what I'm trying to do is I just want to prevent this HTML's default submit thing. So yeah, so we can use this function to prevent the default. But there is one simple thing, that is in this form itself we can use the view predefined thing, that is on submit. So this is a syntax phase. Uh, so there is something called other submit. I think HTML will have predefined submit attribute in HTML form. Uh, okay. So there is something called on submit. So other it means so there are so many other functions if you open in view. On click means once the form is clicked. Okay, usually it is used on the buttons. We can also use it on form. So right now for this function, uh, the submit button is a thing, right? So whenever we click on submit, the function will get triggered. Whatever the form is having, we are doing that. Uh, so to this form, what we are doing is on submit, we are preventing. There is something called prevent. So we can prevent the default action. So let's control save. Let's go back to our application. View application, refresh. I click on submit. So it is doing nothing because of this submit dot prevent. So it is preventing from submitting. So this is the view thing. After this class, I will suggest one YouTube playlist. So just go through it. They will explain view very well. So it is submitting. Yes, Chandra.
Yes, so I wanted to, so that export thing, right? Which means that we want something to be exported from JavaScript to the other server. Is that what it means?
Export, where is export? No, no. So this whatever export here is, we are exporting this all the information to this template. Got
Okay,
it?
but we are actually capturing the user information through this page, right? But we
Yes.
don't want the get command to capture it. We want JavaScript to get the response, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Mm.
and then decide about what to do. So if that happens, but ultimately we want our APIs to consume that information, right? Finally, email and password and all of that, right?
Yeah. So
So
instead of the using on form, we will use the JavaScript to do those things.
right. So what is that export means? If it is not this, what does it do?
Export where?
Yes, sir. Export default. Yeah, this one.
Okay. So the template needs some data, right? So this is where the data is getting used. So in the script, we are exporting this data. Inside the script, you can also do alert something. So this is just a place where you can do some JavaScript. So inside this, we are exporting the data that is used for this template. So that's it. Nothing more. Uh, uh, got it? So this is a template all about HTML page, and this script is where you can write JavaScript code. And here I'm exporting some data so that the template can use the data. Inside this data, I'm creating another data, and here I'm uh, using the variable name and values so that the template can use the data. And I'm also defining some methods so that so it's just like export default is something I'm just exporting this thing so that template can use. Got it? Okay, what is your specific doubt, Shyam? Shyam, are you there?
Sorry, like I did not ask anything. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Who is the person? Okay.
It was Chandra.
Chandra, okay. Maybe he lost his connection. Okay, once he back, I will explain that. So we are just exporting this data to the template, okay, guys. So we don't need to worry about that. If it is working, then it is fine. So whatever we data we define here, we are linking with this input fields. So yeah, now right now we prevented from the form from being submitted. So it is not submitting now. And here I want to call a function. So what function I want to call? So in this method, I will define a method. Uh, so that will be uh, maybe login user, and it will do this object dot from entries from data dot entries. Uh, yes, Chandra. So what I was trying to say is whatever exporting here, it will be used in the template. So we don't need to worry about that. Whatever data we are returning here, it will be can be binded with input elements or anywhere in the application. And now we are going to make a login function. So right now we prevented this form from submitting. If I click on this, the HTML is not making a request. So there is no put request, I assume. So that's why it was not giving. So I just disabled it, HTML. Now I want the JavaScript inside the view to handle the login part. So inside methods, I created a login user function. And here I need to send this data to the backend. And how to do that? So let's see. Uh, so what we can do is constant response from API, response equal to await fetch, and we need to give the backend URL here. So here we have defined it action. We can just copy paste it. Control X. We can remove the action. We don't need anymore. And inside this fetch, we will give this. Let's not give anything. Fetch with which method? Hmm, let's go to JavaScript. fetch method function. Okay, fetch URL command method. That is that is let's first try get, and then what we'll do is dot then response.json else throw network response was not okay. Okay, unexpected reserved word await. So once we click on this, okay, first let's make sure if this function is getting called or not. Alert login button clicked, so this is fine. And on submit on this form, after prevent submit dot prevent, I'm calling this function. So equal to and quotes, I'm just calling this function, that is login user. So it is saved now. So let's refresh. Once I click on the submit button, now we can see the login button click is working. So it means the method login user is working. Okay, so it is giving nothing. It means fetch on window, the provided value is not of type request in. Okay, I'm not aware of that error. So uh, console.log response. So refresh this page, submit. In promise, fetch on window, prevent values not by requesting. Hmm. To fetch data from API. So we need to give async before sync login user expected comma is fine. See, yeah, async function. This is the function, and inside that we will do await. Yeah. So the API calls will take some time, guys. So that's why we are using this asynchronous means in background, and await means it will wait for the response. So that's it. So, so if I click on submit, login button click, and it is giving some error. Failed to execute fetch on window. The provided value is not of type request. Auth view 3632. So in 36 it is giving this error. This is the wrong way. Fetch. Okay. So we don't need to pass get them.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, like Thunder client, we don't have something to debug for front end. We have to go to console and check what is happening.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Okay, sir. And just a quick question, sir. So this login user is basically, if I understand, it is being used to link the user information and store it in that response variable, right? The email and password, the constant response, right? Line number 36, where we is in this variable we basically store that information, right?
Yeah, in the front end we are showing the interface for user to enter values, and in the code we are writing in the JavaScript, we are getting the values in the background, and we are sending it to backend, and we will process the information with the API help, and API will respond. We will take the response and we will show information according to the user.
So where is that return response thing then if we are going to return this to backend?
So yeah, this JavaScript function fetch will make a request to this API, and the API will handle it, and it will respond with the data. Here we can see. Okay, so here I defined the backend URL, right? So if I click on
Right,
submit,
right, right. Yeah, that is a backend URL.
yeah, it is. See, we can see in the backend we got 404 error.
Yeah.
So not found error. So it means in the API backend it is working, and it is making a get method.
Hmm.
Got it?
Okay.
So we are just making API call via JavaScript. So what is your exact doubt? I'm not getting.
So I was just trying to understand how this all of this is working.
Okay, where exactly you missed the line?
Sir, I was thinking that this localhost 5173 page, right, where we
Mm-hmm.
basically put email and password, when you submit, we basically go to this async login user function, right?
Mm-hmm.
This method. And in
Okay.
this method, I was thinking that we are storing that information in that variable called response, but that is not
No, we are
correct.
not storing there. We are storing that information in the email and password in this uh, data.
Data
Mhm.
part. Right, sir. And I understood when you explained about that API.
Mhm. And what we are doing this in this login users. So right now we are not using this email and password. We are just making a function. In this, it will just alert login button clicked, and it means the function is getting called, and we are waiting for a response from this URL. So we are fetching the information. So I just gave the method as put. We are not passing any data till now to the backend. Okay, got it.
Yes, sir.
So it is just a API call. So let's see what it responds with. Uh, Unhandled error during execution of the event handler. Failed to execute fetch. Okay.
Sir, why it should be put?
I'm just checking without any arguments if we are passing this API call, then what's happening? I mean, what will happen?
I mean, why not get or get? That's what
Why
I'm.
not get? So previously
Yes,
I
sir.
removed the thing, right? So it defaultly making get request and it is giving 404 error because we haven't passed any information.
Fine, fine. Got it.
So for login user, we define the API to make a put request, right? If it is put request, then only we will log in. If it is get request, we will check the user exists or not. If it is post, we will create an account. Fargo.
I yes, I remember now. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, maybe I haven't recorded. Uh, so, so to this fetch to this URL, what I did is I haven't given any information, so it was making get method. So right now I'm passing this as a put method to log in, and then headers I'm giving application or JSON, and in body I'm giving this email, the email that we got. So this dot email. So if you want to refer to the data inside this data, then we need to do is this dot email, and it will get this data and the password this dot password. So forget about everything, guys. So I'm just experimenting now. Once it is everything is perfect, then I will explain. So yeah, so control is now I will go to the page. So what will happen now if I click on the submit button is it will call this function. It will fetch data from this API with these options, that is method is put. So it is making a put request to the backend, that is this URL, and it is passing other information like content application, content type, whatever content I'm sending is of type JSON or application. And inside body I'm passing the email and password. So let's see what happens. So it's returning put API slash or HTTP 1.1 401. So what is 401? Unauthorized. So it should not give this error. So let's go back to Flask application. So it's better to open new windows, two windows space. So I will open a new window, cd backend, and here I will do code dot, and here we got the new window. So this is only backend. So what I suggest is Windows open multiple windows for everything. Uh, so what I will do is here it is very easy to open backend and frontend. So that's why I opened it. So let it be index. We don't need app. We don't need. We are only working on auth view, the page that we have created. And in the back end, what I will open is I will open this controllers.py and the auth page, which is handling this API call. That is this authentication. Remember guys, in the app.py we have defined that uh, app.py further out slash API slash or we are using this class authentication to handle those things. So in authentication for put method, let's make a breakpoint here. So to check if everything is correct or not. So yeah. So now what we will do is I will remove this. Okay, let's close the VS Code. Don't open multiple things. It will just complicate things. So view, let it be. Now what I will do is, if I make a request in the front end, it should stop. I mean, it should enter in this one, right? So I'm putting a breakpoint, so it will break here. It will stop here, and then we can debug what data is coming from the front end and what's happening in every line. So I'm going here. If I click on submit, so we can see it came till here to the breakpoint. Now we can see what are the data we got. Request.json. So we can see email and password is coming from the front end. So it is coming. So what's happening next? N. So N. So next line, it is getting email and password. So it is trying to find user. So if user, it is entering the if condition. So because there is no user, so you can see user. So user is none. It means there is no user with this email and password. So let's check the backend. So right now it will be very confusing, guys, but once you watch this recording and try your own, you will get it. So what is the email? Email. It's nandy.@gmail.com, but there is no, okay, there is user, I mean with this email. But the password that the user has given, that is password, and it is hello. But the password is admin. So that's why it is not able to log in. So if I put continue, it is giving 401, that is unauthorized error. So that's it. Now what I will do is, if I edit this admin password to hello, so I'm just changing the backend itself to this. So I'm just committing. So password is updated. Now I will make the request again. Now we can see n, okay, request dot form or request dot form request dot json. Now we can see hello at gmail.com. Password is hello. So we are getting the thing n n n if user. Here if you type user, previously it was none because the password not matching. Now since the password is matching, we are getting the Nandy as the user. If I put continue, now you can see 200 response. So what it means is login successful, and we will be getting a token in the backend. So if we open here, see we can see in the console we are able to see the login successful and the data that we are getting from the what is this backend. So let's open the VS Code. So that's how you do debugging, guys, if you stuck somewhere. We will also check what if there is any error in the things. So we'll talk about that later. So I'm just closing the database. Controllers also I'm closing. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting some messages here. So for this page, I'm just want to show the message as well. Enter your credentials or so right now it will be empty, and here you can show the message below the submit form. PF message, yeah, message. So this will be good, and we will also show a registry page. Uh, so let's keep it as it is. So I just fill the information but forgot about it. So right now there is no message, right? Uh, Once we get response from the back end, what we will do is, so login successful, login failed. So I will change the data. So hello is the password now. I'm changing the password to hello k. So it will add the key here. So if I try to submit, it will be a login failed. So put unauthorized. So it means that information is not correct. Uh, so we will print login failed and response only, not. So now we can see login failed, and login failed. We are getting this response. Type course, and can we do response to data? Okay, undefined. So there is no data. Response dot message. Okay. So let's first check response only. Okay, so I am sending this JSON data to backend, and backend is responding with data. So I am getting the response. If response dot okay, it means response is successful. Then it will show like login successful, and we are printing the data. Previously, that's what happened. So I am just checking if the password is not correct. Then how to show that information in the front end. So that's what I'm trying to do, guys. So submit. So login failed, and we can see the response data. Status text unauthorized. Body. Are we sending any data in the backend for the unauthorized? So that's why Mat2 is very complicated, guys. It will take a lot of time. So there is no option. Once you understand how one thing is working, so I'm doing this bootcamp after a long time. So that's why I'm also taking so much time. But once you got to know how to do the API calls from front end to back end, you'll be unstoppable. You can do your own. So message. Oh, there is message here. Response JSON. If it is success, then there is message. If I remove the K, so let me refresh first. If I remove the K, it will be right password. If I submit, we can see login failed. Okay, like failed. Input password, type equal to password. GLLO. Okay. HELLO. Login failed. It's failed. Okay, I don't know why it was showing like that. Acha, okay, because I was hard coding here, that's why it was giving the error. So we just need to keep it empty, and whenever there is update, it should get the values from there. So we can see in the login successful, we can see the message and access token as a response. But if it is failure, that is wrong password, then we need to show the message. But I just want to check where the message is coming from. Response dot okay. Let's do one thing. Let's ask ChatGPT. Copy uh, console. Let's copy on this object. Copy object. Where can I see message in failed response? Empty JSON object, reason for failed reason. Yes, Shyam, you can go through the recording.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do one thing. Response to JSON. Contract that JSON. Refresh. Submit. Promise is pending. Fulfill. Okay, error and then the response. So I just want to get this message, guys. So if there is any error, I'm just returning this 401, right? After this, the message object, I just want to get it, but it's not coming. So I just want to check why it is not coming.
Sir, you mean invalid credential is not coming?
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do. It is giving pending. So I just want to find this message. If it is there, then we can show it in the message. Okay, first let's try for the login then. .then data console.log. So this dot message equal to login successful. We can do this. Control S.
Do you have removed that breakpoint from the server?
Breakpoint, yes, I have removed it. So if there is any breakpoint, it will show here. So right now there is no breakpoint. So password is correct. Once I clicked on it, so login failed. But login is successful. Why it is giving failed? I think this JavaScript thing is not correct. Whatever I have defined here. Then data. So we will get data from this response and console.log data. Data status equal to success. Okay, first let's print the data. So what's happening here is first we are fetching data from this URL with put method, and we are passing this information, data, email, and password. So right now it is password is correct, so it's hello only. And after that we are checking response. If response is positive, like everything is correct, then we will return the response.json as a data. Else we will throw a new error. So once the data has been received, then we will but check the data, and we will print the data first. So data has been printed, and inside data we have message and assets token only. So there is no message dot status equal to success. So that's a thing. So we can just remove this. There is no success, login successful, and we can push the router to dashboard, but we don't have that yet. We'll just comment it. Else login failed. Okay, we don't need to keep this. So this much is enough. Just update the this dot message equal to login success. So refresh. If I click on submit, now we can see login successful message is assigning to the this dot message. And after that we can redirect the current user to the dashboard page, but let's not do that yet. And catch error. So if it is wrong, your wrong password, then what to do? So maybe because of this hard code thing, it is mm, thing. Okay, another thing, guys. So this will I forgot. So this is there is something called vbind and vmodel. Uh, what is the difference between vbind and vmodel? What is vmodel? So something will only one way, like it we can't update it. Another thing is it is two way, like we can update the value from a thing. So vbind is called one way binding, which means it binds our data one way. So we can't edit it after putting. So we need to use vmodel. So let's check once. So just go to these things, guys, because this comes under theory part. This will be asked in the Viva. V model, and this is the correct syntax. V model argument is not correct.
Sir, from the context of this app, what can V model be? Can you explain?
Okay. So vbind is only one way. Like if so, right now whatever we colon we give, it is v model, like vbind. I guess that's why even when we change the input in the input field, it is not updating. So it is still sending the previous data only. That is the hard coded one. So yeah. Okay, vbind colon. So it's v model colon. So this should work. Why it's not giving plain elements? So v model input. A v model equal to text. Directly help us to simplify the above. Okay, so we need to do this, guys. So we don't need to give value equal to something. We can directly use v model equal to messages. So that's why it was giving error. So if you give v model equal to mail, it will automatically put those values here. So yeah, so we can do the same here also. So I also got to know from here the documentation itself from the official Vue.js org. So just go through the document if you have any doubt. V model equal to password. So if we change something, it will also update in the back. See the data. So previously, if I kept hello k, even if I edit in the template, it was still sending the hello k. But if I update it, like I remove one character, that means k is removed. If I submit, so login successful. Previously, it was not successful because it was one way binding. It was v bind. So that's it, guys. So just remember what is vbind, what is vmodel. They can ask questions in the Viva about this. So if I refresh, it will be normal. If I submit, now it will show the error. Login unsuccessful. Successful. Okay. So let's ask ChatGPT. Let's copy paste this to ChatGPT and ask how can we get the error, and according to that showing that template. Here 401 will give error in the JavaScript fetch function. Then how to show the message that we are getting along with 401 response. Okay. So if it is starting with 2, it means success. So we can directly get that. But if it is error, then we need to handle the error. So let's see how the ChatGPT says us to do. Oh, okay. So let's do the same, guys. So once we fetch the data, after that in the response we need to wait. Synchronous response. Okay, ASYNC. Then we don't need to make it here. So it will asynchronously wait for this response, and then const data equal to await of response.json. Try to parse the response body. Okay, if response uh, is not okay, we will throw error. Mm, if response is okay, we will return the JSON data. Else, we will throw a new error. Error with data, or else unknown error. Login failed. And then we'll receive the data and we'll do so if it is positive, then whatever we do here, it will be get here. If it is error, then we will check here. So error, and then what is the error? Okay, so it will work now. So let's refresh. I submit now. uh, Error is a object. So let's try a console.log here. Console.log error data. Okay, yeah, here it is coming. That is message is we can see the message here. So we just want to show the message here. So how to do that? For every API call, we are returning message, right? Even for the unsuccessful one, that is starting with the 400. So I just want to show the message to the user. So that is what I am trying to do here. Console.log error, that is data. Mm, okay, Chandra. So we are throwing a new error that is with the data. If the data is not available, then we are returning login failed text. Then catch error, console dot error, and then error, comma error. Okay, that's why it is giving two objects maybe. P3. So submit and error object. Where are we doing this? Auto line number 61. Console.log error. Okay, guys, we don't need to give this catch then. We can directly handle from here. So what we can do is, so this is fine now. So this is the final thing. So first we are trying to fetch some response from the API. Once the response has been arrived, we will check the response. If it is okay, if it is successful, then we will return response.json and we will handle that return in this .then data, and we will show the response to the user and we will redirect to according to the whatever we want. But if it is error, then we will what we will show is, so we will throw the error, and before that, what we will do is, uh, so here we can show the error to the user. This dot message equal to data dot message, else login failed if there is no response. And then we can throw a new error if you want, or else we can just uh, yeah, better to throw in that what is this console. So I think now it is fine. So wrong email. So now we can see invalid credentials. Now we can see the response from the backend in the front end. So this is what I was trying to describe. So invalid credentials. If it is right credentials, like I just need to remove the K because the password I'm giving as K as hard coded value. If I submit, uh, failed to execute JSON on response. Mm. So in backend is responding success, but in a front end is not updating. Why it is not updating? We can do here. Data. So let's catch the error if there is any error. It's not correct syntax expected. No. So refresh. I'll just remove the key. It is login failed. Failed to execute the JSON on response body. Stream already fed. Acha, okay. So what was the error is once the successful login is successful. So that's my mistake. So what I was trying to do is I'm again returning the response.json data. We don't need to do that. We can directly return data. So control S. So what we are doing is constant data equal to await response.json. We are converting the response to JSON, and after that, if response is okay, we are returning the data. So we will find the data, they will get the data, and we will open the data. If it is any error, we will just show login failed. So that's it. So now I got the issue. So right now invalid credentials. If I change it to the correct password, if I submit, now you can see login successful. So that's it, guys. So finally able to do it. Here we can, after the login is successful, we can also see the console.data. We can see the access token is also there. So we can, what we can do is we can put that token into the local storage. So how we do it is local storage dot set item and token and the data dot token. So if we click this, what we can do is this dot router dot push to slash page. So it should show slash page. Why? because in the what is the slash page, that is router page, we have defined that, right? If you remember. Yeah, here before and after we are checking if the local storage has the item token, then we will redirect to the home page. So that's it. After the login successful, we will set the token to the application. Let's open it so that we can see. So in the local storage, you can see there is no token with the key token. Let's log in. Okay, 401. Okay, because we need to update the password. So I edited the password, submit. Now we can see token, it is added, and now we can see the view homepage. So it means the user has been logged in. Okay, token undefined. Why it is undefined? Uh, response dot okay, return data. Data dot message. Data dot message, and then local storage dot set item data dot token, and console. Yeah, message access token. Okay, it is access token, not token. So that's why the error was coming. I mean, it is not able to save. So instead of data dot token, it data dot access token. I just saved it. I will remove the key because the key is not valid in the application. Clear. So if I remove now, if I refresh, it is directly going to slashing page. I am not able to go to the home page. So it is redirecting me to the slashing page. Here, if I try to log in, we can see invalid credentials. If I give correct password, uh, then we can see slashing page, and in the token we have stored these token, the user token. So that's it, guys. Now we are able to log into the application. Without login, it won't show. We'll also create some login page, logout page, that we will do later. But right now, let's create this, delete this token, refresh. It is redirecting to the slashing page, and here now we will do the authentication. That is registration page. So this is fine right now. Login being thing. Let's do the same with register page. Login user, register user, and let's use the whole same function, and we'll just modify some little things. uh, okay, we need to put comma after this because multiple functions are the same thing. So in our page, instead of put, it should be post. If it is put, it is login, right? We are changing the method. Now let's see what happens if we send a request with this post. Okay, we need to create one more form. So this for login. Let's create one more for registration. So this is registration. If I click on submit, it should show, I mean, it should prevent and call a function register user. So register user, yes, it is successful. So if I click on this button, it will call the register function. So here, so this register function, and it will send a post request. So previously we were making a put request, right? If I click on this button, it will make a post request, and it is returning with 400. And it is returning user already exists because user already exists. So now we need to update this data. So login part is working fine. So let's update the email to and then control S. So if I submit, okay, it is giving not null constraint failed. So we need to pass name also to this form. So in this registration, so we can see error creating user. So why it is, because not null constraint failed, we need to also pass the user name. So before I'm asking user email, we need to ask the user name. So I'll just copy paste this and change it for the name. For name, type text id name name and v model with name. So it will be required. So right now it is empty, but we will define the data here. So name, and we'll give the default value. So Control S. So it is filled. Let's submit again. Now we got another not null constraint field, that is user.name. Why? Because in the data we are not passing the date, right? I mean a name, right? So there is a register function. Along with email and password, I have to send the name and this dot name. Control S. Submit. We can see 201 response, that is post API slash auth. So user has been created. 200 response means something has been created. So now let's log in with this account. So how to log in? So after registry, we need to uh, ask the user to log in, right? So wait, so router.push, we need to remove this in this one, and there will be no access token. So we can see access token is undefined because in the API we are not returning any access token. We just need to console.log.data and show this message. Yes. So let's clear this token. If I refresh, it will go to slashing page. If I click on submit, it will show user already exists. Got it, guys? So forget about this. We will hide it later. Are you there, Yogesh and Mandata?
Yes, yes.
You're understanding, right? Okay. So if I click on the submit button, user already exists. So it means it has been created successfully. So what we need to do is, so if I click on submit, it will show 400. Okay, so we need to update the data here first. I'll just keep it 0. So if I submit, it will create a new user. Okay, name should not be unique, email should be unique. So added a digit 0. If I click on submit, it will create user created. So instead of user created in the back end, what we should do is controllers.py, it's better to return login something. So instead of user created, we can show account created, login to continue. So if we refresh in the auth view also, let's update the email to create a new account, that is 1. So if we submit, here we can see account created, login to continue. And then user will go to login page, and if user tries to log in now, submit, now we are able to log in.
I'm having a question here.
Yes.
That in that form, both locations were getting changed. And then one like this.
Sorry.
You were editing one location. Actually, there are two fields
I'm
per
not
email,
getting.
right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
There are two fields for, in the forms. One is for login, one is for register. And you are changing in login, the register is also getting changed. Means you are changing in register, login was also getting changed for email.
Yeah, because I'm
That is
using
because of
same variables for both of them. So if I try to
this
register
was
again,
not
it will show user already exists error.
actually, no, what I'm trying
Sorry.
to say that email here Nandan 1 and email in login that is also Nandan 1 at the gmail.com. You edited one location only, it's reflected both the locations.
Because I'm using the
These are
same
two
variable,
different.
right? That is what I'm trying to say. I'm using the same variable in both of the locations to show it. So what I will do is I will hide one of them, because at a time I will only need one of them, right? Login or register. So
Yeah, I understood.
uh,
Variable name is common both locations. Okay.
so we'll keep some variable called is login, and we will keep it to true. So whenever user opens, it will be login page. So what we will do is inside this first div, that is login div, we will put v if login, and then here we will do v else. So right now it is only login, and once user clicks on this register here button, we will update this the v if is login to false, and we will only show the register page. So how we do that? Let's see. So inside this method, we will make a toggle function. So toggle form. So this dot is login equal to not of this dot is login, and we will call the function on this click. So on this anchor link, once the user clicks on this at the rate click, so on click we will run toggle form. So let's check now. So register here. If I click on this, so nothing happening. Maybe I need to call this function. Nothing. Okay, maybe let's make it a button then. Okay, I am showing this inside this one, right? Okay, so that's fine. Yeah. So what I have to do is I have to copy paste the same thing. So if I click on this register here, it will show this. This is an auth page, and inside this registration, instead of don't have an account, we will show in this registration page. It will show have an account login, or something like that. So don't have an account, something like that. Have an account, and we will show login. So we are just using the if condition. So if will check if something is true, and then if it is true, then only it will show this div. So that is what we are doing here. Whenever we enter this /in, because the default value is true, it will show login page. Then don't have an account. Then we will click on this register here. If you click on this, it will show the register form. And if I click on submit, it will show user already exists. Then we need to have an account. Then click on login here. It will only show the login form now. And if I click on submit, it should redirect to the /in page because the user has been logged in. So got it, Mandata?
Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
So if you try your own, then you will get it. So there are so many things that has to be modified in this thing. So just remove it. If I enter, it will redirect to the /in page. So just experiment things, so then only you will get it. So the bootcamp is not enough to teach about Vue. There are so many things. So I will suggest one YouTube playlist. You should better to go through that, not to get every aspect of that. So only to log in and show the data, I will be responsible to show that things, how to do those things. But if you want to learn more, then you should go through the playlist that I will send later. Yeah. So
Okay.
So there is also
in problem statement. In problem statement, it was mentioned that we have to use bootstrap for styling. Are you
no, it's optional. It's not mandatory, I'm sure. It is always optional. So this is data science course. This is not what is it, UI UX course. So if it is UI UX course, then they will be mandatory. But here functionality is only important. If you can see here, recommended. So see here, provide styling and aesthetics. It's under recommended and optional features. So we don't need to do. I mean, if you are interested, then you should go. So another thing, if you are clicking on login here, it is also showing the message. So we should update the message to empty. So inside this function, whenever the toggle form is there, we will update this message. This dot message is equal to empty. So yeah, I think everything is working now. I think we can change the name to empty, so user can enter their own names. So let's test now. So right now it is empty form. I am entering my email and password 1234. Submit. Invalid credentials. So uh, it should say either account not exists or invalid credentials that we can define in the backend. So let's go there. Invalid credentials, where it is. So inside put invalid credentials. Okay, it means either password is there, or password is wrong, or email is wrong. So then isn't have to click on register here. In this form also we need to update the values to make it empty. Okay, now I got it. So because the user clicked on this view model, we are storing this information here. So we can also update the name, everything empty here. This dot name equal to empty. So it's just a good thing to save the information. Like on the login page, we will enter the user email and password. So if there is no account, then they will click on register here, right? So the previous values will be auto-filled, and now user can fill their name, click on login. Now, so it is also creating the error. So there are so many things that we need to consider to make the front end. So we also need to show the message here. The account has been created. So I'm just removing this part so it will show. So account has been created. So previously I clicked that button, right? So what I was trying to say. Control check. Okay, let's make a new account. 98gmail.com. I think this one is already exist. Invalid credentials, yeah. So user 0 at gmail.com. And if I try to submit invalid credentials, register here. So if I give 1234 and click on submit, so account created, login to continue. Okay, login here. We'll go there, and the default values will be shown here. So previously values, and user can click on submit. Now that user that we have created has been logged in. So got it, guys? So yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's it about. We can also return the user information. We are getting the user, right? So let's get if user, we can convert the user to user equal to user dot to dictionary, and we can return the information here also. Along with the access token, we can return user, then user, and in the auth view, we can store the information here also. So once the login is successful, we will be getting the user information also, right? Then data, local storage, let's keep the user information also. Local storage set item, json.stringify user.data. I think this will be better. Okay, so login page, let's log in with the account that we have created. So for my account, what is the email password? Okay, account hasn't been created for this account, so let's register here. And then password 1234. So submit. Okay, name. Submit. Account created. So 201 account created. Now we can log in here. So submit. So account logged in, and we can also see the user information here. So ID 7, name. So assignee, this is what default given. So I mean autofill given. So I just filled it. And we can also get the email information. I think we can also see the role information here. Let's make it full screen. Yeah, we can see role is user. So based on this, we can also redirect the user to the admin or user dashboard. So that's it about this. If user want to log out, let's create a logout. Let's make it fast. We spend so much time on this. So this is how you do things. Uh, let's just create a logout page. In this app.view, what I'm doing is I'm just making a function logout, not app.view. Nothing app.view on this. So export default. Okay, above there is script. Okay, this is style. Okay, so that's fine. Export default. Module cannot have multiple exports. Okay, so is it already exporting? Okay, maybe they are using here. I'm not sure. So let's make a function logout. So local storage dot remove item token. Is that token? Yes, it is token, and then user. This dot push. No need to push. We can directly log out. So if you want to make application complex, then you can make a separate page for logout page. And, yeah. First, we will take alert prompt. We'll prompt the user, or if you want to log out and confirm log out. What is confirm log out? So const logout sure equal to prompt. If sure is not equal to yes, return. Else we will do this local storage dot remove, and I think this dot router dot push to slash in page. I think this will be enough. We got some error. Missing semicolon. Okay. It's correct. Export default. Each view contain at most one script setup block, excluding normal script. The script is passing a component setup function. Script for each instance of the component. Top level binding in the are automatically exposed to template. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT what is this error. You are mixing user setup. Yeah, setup maybe you should not do with option CP, which leads to unexpected behavior. Okay, then we need to mention the function here. Then okay, it's fine. So this is options API. We are mixing things. So function logout. Yeah, now it will be fine. So now what we have to do is now we need to give a anchor link in the top. Uh, so anchor link with href hash, and then on click we will do is run the function logout, and here we will get logout. So logout is there. If I click on logout, it will ask, do you want to log out? It should not be prompt. So if I click on cancel, it will not do anything. But if I click on OK, still not doing nothing. Java, JavaScript prompt. Okay, the default text, whatever we give text inside, so it will ask user to enter some value, but we need to hide that. Mm, user logout wrong. Okay, window.com from okay. It's not prompt, it's confirm. So we can remove this. If window.confirm, are you sure you want to log out? If not off, there is no not, I guess. So if confirm, if there is any positive response from this, then we will do this all things that we want to do, that to log out. Else, we will just return. So that's it. Cancel. So let's refresh. So still there is token and user information in the local storage. If I click on logout button, Rishi won't logout. Okay. Now you can see both of the token and the user information has been gone, and we came to this additional page. Even if I remove this, it will still show this. So how to remove this logout? Later we will learn about how to use Pina, and with that Pina we will keep the current user information, and then we can use that. So for now that's it, guys. So we are we just created how to, I mean we just made how to create an account, log in an account, and store the information in the local storage, and we were able to do that in tomorrow's class. So let's check the day planner. Okay, so we just took a lot of time. So tomorrow we will give brief introduction about salary, Redis, caching, and mail hog. So we'll be doing all of them in a single run. Along with that, before I will explain what is Pina, Vue.js, Pina. So just a brief introduction. Tomorrow we'll just give brief introduction about the Pina, how to store current user information, how to store current user info, and then well, state information, state management. I think state management will be correct. App state management, and then salary rate is caching brief information introduction. And on D6 we will be creating functions to send mails and do asynchronous jobs, CSV export, and on day 7 generating graphs and submitting the project, how to submit the project. So that's it, guys. Maybe I shouldn't have done this authentication part. These two can be done in a single day. That would be better. Okay, no worries. So that's it for now. We are able to make an application. We just need to hide these things. Or we can also do something. In this header, we can here we can make a variable like current user logged in or not. So constant user equal to json.parse local storage dot get item user. And here we can, in this logout, we can put v if user. So the logout is gone. If we log in with a user account, so we can do something like this. So if you keep working on the application, you will get to know what are the multiple things there are there in this Vue.js that we can do. So none then, okay, I will enter admin account, admin@gmail.com. Password is admin only. Press submit. Now user is logged in, and the user is there, but it is not showing here. So if I refresh, now we can see logout button is there. So it is because child component is getting logged in. It's better to reload the page after the login happened. So what view? Um, this dot push to slash window dot location dot reload. I think after logging it should be done. So admin at gmail.com and admin. Yeah, now it is getting refreshed. So window dot location dot reload, it will reload the page, and then we can return. And so we are after logging in, we are pushing this current page to slash page, and we also reloading the page. Then the logout button is working because uh, in the we are checking the local storage if there is any user or is there or not. If I log out, still it is showing because we need to reload that page. So in the logout also we need to, what we need to do is we need to window dot location dot reload and then return. So right now it will work fine. Admin at gmail.com, admin, submit, logged in. Now I will log out. Okay, still it is showing. Maybe after the function call it won't reload, I guess. Mm. So how to check this? So it's better to use view storage. I mean, the current state management, it is better than this. So it is very active. So let's work on it. So right now it updated because I saved it here. Anything else? Uh, so that's it, guys. Today we learned about how to uh, call the API and fetch the data. Tomorrow, what I will tell about is I will briefly explain what is state management, and I already made some APIs on how make a author and save a code to a specific author. So I will just show them briefly, or else I will just list all the codes in the database. So, or else I will just list all the users in the app. I think that's the only thing I will be teaching tomorrow in the next class. And after that, salary rate is caching. If there is time, then we will go through anything else. So that's it, guys. Any doubt? If no, then we can end the meet.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, then have a great night. Bye.